Welcome to lesson 12. We are going to use some brushes in this lesson to create an ad. This is what we are going to start with. This is what we're going to finish with. Start, finish, start, finish. Start, you see this is pink up here. You see there's nothing done here. You see this is Jibberwocky Wakasaw. This is, you see we're making all these leaves, making this triangle, so on and so forth. So, starting with this, there's your start file. Let's click File, and then Save As, and we're going to name this, save on your computer, go to lesson 12, and we're going to name this Uplift Add underscore your last name. Please name it accordingly and save it. Click OK. Let me find this picture I took. Oop. Alright, in this lesson, just showing you can decorate with patterns, figures, brush strokes, textures, angle strokes using brushes. You can also modify them and create brushes. So in this lesson, we're going to use a calligraphic brush, art brush, bristle brush, pattern brush, and we're not going to use a scatter brush, but we're going to use these other four. And this just shows you a picture of what they look like, and you're going to learn about those. First type of brush you'll learn about is the calligraphic brush. This brush resembles strokes drawn with the angle point of a calligraphic pen. Calligraphic brushes are defined by an elliptical shape whose center follows the path, and you can use these brushes to create the appearance of hand-drawn strokes made with a flat angle tip pen. So to get started, we're going to filter the types of brushes shown in the brushes panel so it shows only the calligraphic window, brush. So click Window and then Brushes, and it opens up this panel menu. Click this icon right here, and we're going to change this to List View instead of Thumbnail View. And we're going to click that again, and we're going to deselect the Show Art brushes. We're going to deselect Show Bristle brushes and Show Pattern brushes. So the only ones shown now are the calligraphic brushes. So we're going to select the Selection tool, click the pink text object up here to select it. The text has been converted to paths because it was edited to create the appearance that you see. So let's zoom in on that. I just did Control plus if you're on Command plus if you're on a Mac. Windows, you'll do Control plus to zoom in. Select the 5-point flat brush, 5-point flat right there, to see the effects of that blush. So if you see how you select them and it shows you, but 5-point flat is what we want. Change the stroke weight to 5 over here in your properties panel, just to see the effects of the brush, and then we're going to bump it back down to 1. So change that to 1. As with the actual calligraphic pen, when you apply a brush such as the 5-point flat brush, the more vertically you draw a path, the thinner the path stroke appears. Click the Stroke Color in the Properties panel. Make sure the Swatches option is selected and select Black, and then press the Escape key to hide the Swatches panel. Choose Select and then deselect, and you see we have changed that to black. To change the options for a brush, you can double click the brush in the Brushes panel. When you edit a brush, you can also choose whether to change artwork that the brush has been applied to. Next, you'll change the appearance of the 5-point flat brush that you've been painting with. So on the brushes panel, double click the brush thumbnail to the left of the text 5-point flat. So double click that. In the dialog box, make the following changes. For the name, we are going to name this 8-point angled. We're going to make the angle be 35 degrees. Choose fixed from the menu to the right of the angle if it isn't already. The roundness, we want it to be 15%. This setting makes the brush stroke more or less round. Size is going to be 8-point. And then click OK. In the dialog box that appears, click Apply to Strokes. So the brush changes will affect the text shapes that the brush applied. So when you click Apply, you see that it changed that. Choose Select, Deselect. Oh, if you need to. Mine, I didn't have it selected. And let's just go ahead and click File and then Save. So we save what we've done. We are now going to draw with the paintbrush tool. The paintbrush tool allows you to apply a brush as you paint. Painting with the paintbrush tool creates vector paths that you can edit with the paintbrush tool or other drawing tools. Next, you'll use the paintbrush tool to paint part of the T in the text with the calligraphic brush from a brush library. Select the paintbrush tool in the toolbar. There's your paintbrush tool. Click the Brush Libraries menu. Here's the Brush Libraries menu. And we're going to go to Artistic and then Artistic Calligraphic. The Brush Library panel with various brushes appears. Illustrator comes with a host of brush libraries that you can use in your artwork. Each brush type, including those discussed previously, has a series of libraries to choose from. Click the Artistic Calligraphic panel menu icon, this, and choose List View. Click the brush name 15-point flat. Ooh, there's a bunch of these. 15-point flat. To add it to the brushes panel, you see that it's over here now, 15-point flat. Close this Artistic Calligraphic menu. Selecting a brush from the brush library, such as the Artistic Calligraphic Library, adds that brush to the brushes panel for active document only. Make sure the fill color is none. My fill color is none. The stroke color is black, and the stroke weight is 1 point. With the pointer in the document window, notice that the paintbrush pointer has an asterisk next to it. See where there's an asterisk, indicated you're about to paint a new path. Move the pointer to the left of the T in pure mental, and we're going to paint a curve path from left to right. So everybody's going to look a little different, so we're just going to go make yours like you want it. Everybody should have a path. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Select the selection tool and click to select the new path that you drew. Change the stroke weight to 0.5. 0.5. And then let's choose Select, Deselect, and then File, and then Save. So yours, this that you just did, should be skinnier than your original one. Now you'll use the paintbrush tool to edit paths. With the selection tool selected, click to select the pure mental text shapes. Select the paintbrush tool in the toolbar. Move the pointer over the capital P. Right about here. An asterisk will not appear next to the pointer when it's positioned anywhere over a selected path. See where there's not, when you move it over the path, it's not. Drag to redraw the path. The selected path is edited from the point where you draw. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a little swoosh down like that. A little fancy thing. Make yours, you can do that, or you can do this. However you want to do it. Make sure that you've drawn something. And notice that the letter shapes are no longer selected after you finish drawing with the paintbrush tool. By default, paths are deselected. Press and hold Command on a Mac or Control on a window to toggle to the selection tool. Hang on, I gotta click. What? Let's just. What? Press? Oh, press and hold. Select this curved path that we drew. After clicking, go back to your paintbrush tool. With the paintbrush tool, move the pointer over some part of the selected path. When the asterisk disappears, drag to the right to redraw the path. Ooh. See how it redrew it. Next, you'll edit the options of the paintbrush tool to change how it paints. Double-click the paintbrush tool. That gives you a dialog box. Make the following changes. Fidelity. Drag the slider all the way to smooth, which is to the right. Keep selected. We need to select that. And then click OK. The Paintbrush Tool Options dialog box changes the way Paintbrush Tool functions. For the Fidelity option, the closer to smooth you drag the slider, the smoother the path will be and the fewer points it will have. Also, because you selected Keep Selected, the paths remain selected after you finish drawing them. With the Paintbrush Tool selected, once again press and hold the Command or Control Windows key to toggle to the Selection tool. Click to select the curved path and release the key. So we're going to repaint it again. Ew, that was ugly. Okay, repaint it again. Notice that now after painting, the path is still selected. See, it's still selected before that went away. So you could further edit it if you needed to, knowing that if you want to draw a series of overlapping paths with the paintbrush tool, setting the tool option to not remain selected is best. That way you can draw overlapping paths without altering previously drawn paths. Choose Select, Deselect, and then File, Save, and we will end this video.